Hey there everyone, welcome back. It's race day and we are already on track. Now, what we are doing today is into Lagos, Brazil, 14 laps as you can see. But this is a new way of training myself, or getting some training in to improve my driver level. I've been driving a little bit more frequently online against other drivers. Although it is a safe environment and a very safe lobby, which I'm driving with PlayStation Racer, otherwise known as Mitchell Morgan. Obviously you don't want to be the guy who's ruining everybody's races by getting race lines wrong, braking in the wrong place, accelerating out of turns at the wrong place, not watching your radar and so forth. So what I've done is I've obviously raced the race. This was from a live video that I did earlier on today. I've been driving in the dash cam view because that's really nice, having the radar right in the middle of the screen, in between the two clocks, and then I've got a rear view mirror at the top of the screen as well. So that really improves my driving. So that's for the one thing. The other part is now just getting the race lines correct, braking points, acceleration out of turns, and obviously trying to make sure we're hitting apexes correctly and keeping the speed up on the car without massive amounts of work going in on the steering wheel, which is quite difficult. So there's a lot that needs to be thought of. So what I've done to try and get myself trained and get a little bit more practice in before putting myself online and wrecking everyone else's races is doing this. So basically I'm driving a Group 4 car, a Gr4 car. The other cars in the field, all 19 of them, are set to Group 2 or Gr2, which is 2 levels above where we are. But to make it more competitive, I've put them at intermediate level. Otherwise, keeping them at professional level, they'll just completely run away, because at obviously professional level, they very rarely make any mistakes. Intermediate level, they're more kind of towards my level. Well, at least towards the up until the middle of the grid. So they'll never ever win this race because the other cars are just too good. But because they range from position number 19 being the worst, and obviously they get better and better, moving up towards the top of the grid. But anyway, let's run through what we're racing against. We've got a Honda NSX. There's a couple of those through the race. I think there's 3. There's one Mercedes CLK. That's a monster. Audi RS5. Nissan GTR. Another one. Another Audi. A third Audi. A second Honda NSX. The Alexis. It's quite a nice car, that actually. Yet another GTR. There's quite a few of them here. That is, I think, the third Honda NSX. Another GTR, another GTR, and then the white and turquoise Lexus. A third, or is it a fourth Audi? Can't remember now. Then the McLaren F1. A second blue and turquoise Lexus, a third one, another GTR, and then that's us in the Porsche Cayman GT4. So what I'd like to do is start the race from the passenger view inside the car. We'll run that for a certain amount of time, and then we'll switch over to other cameras as we go along. But basically what we do here is the fuel usage is set to 7 times the going rate, 7 times the fuel use rate. Tire wear is 7 times the wear rate, and when we go into pit, the fuel flow rate for putting fuel into the car is at 12 liters per second. So pit stops should be pretty quick, which is much better for keeping the races closer and getting guys back out on track quicker. So obviously a bit more realistic as well. So yeah, with that fuel usage, we are definitely going to have to go in for a pit stop, at least one. depending on how badly we drive. So, without further ado, let's get this on the go. Let's get racing. I am going to commentate as if I'm the commentator and Kyle Brennan is behind the wheel. So, let's go. Welcome to Brazil, to Interlagos, and the race is about to start. Listen to that Porsche go. It got a great start, but the Group 2 cars will absolutely pull away on acceleration from the start. But Kyle Brennan is in the Porsche Cayman, which is a nicely balanced car. It is very, very light, and that gives us the advantage with braking, and we are right on the back of them. Gr4Cayman in the Lexus in front of us now. He's attacking that GTR by the look of it. That is Peterson in position number 18, but Kyle a little bit off the pace here, onto the brakes, takes the apex quite nice and clean. And he's focused on Gr4Cayman. Looks like we are kind of hanging with the pack, which is quite good. These cars are more powerful, but we don't know how they are with fuel wear and handling. But Kyle Brennan almost getting into the back of Masuto there as Gr4Cayman overtakes his teammate into 18th position. Masuto now at the back of the field, having to contend with Kyle Brennan in the rear view mirror. And here we come up the inside. Masuto not enjoying being right at the back of the grid, being the first one to be picked off if Kyle can get it done. Kyle Brennan nicely on the racing line here, cuts that corner nice and perfect, and he's right on the back of that Lexus. Coming up the hill, they do seem to have a little bit more power as they get up that rise, but the Porsche is definitely hanging in, and he's close enough to be getting the slipstream here. So let's see if he can keep up and start to gain some ground. It looks like he is gaining on Masuto or Matsuo. I keep calling him by the wrong name, over my word. But into the S's, Kyle gets a really good line here, right on the back of Matsuo. Oh, looks like Matsuo got a little bit squirrely on that rumble strip. Kyle Brennan shoots past into 19th position onto the brakes, and he moves into the left-hander right on the apex. And TK, I'm calling him TK because I can't pronounce that surname, has got a Porsche Cayman all the way up his exhaust. Kyle Brennan tapping off, being safe about this. Quite a wise move there. He would normally not have done that, but TK not having it. You can see him punching onto that accelerator and moving out in front. But Kyle Brennan not letting up on the attack. Right there, next to TK. He takes TK. He's into 18th position, chasing Gr4Cayman. Feathering that throttle, making sure he's getting all the grip possible. And what? Oh, slightly too much boot. Porsche's power coming into play there, sliding that back out a little. He has turned the traction control down to level 1. He normally used to drive at level 2, but he seems to be handling level 1 quite well. Up to the first turn, onto the brakes, right up the trumpet of Gr4Cayman, and he's got him. Kyle Brennan moves into 17th, chasing Kokonen in the Nissan GTR GT500. In that slipstream, you can see him gaining ground. Has a look, but he's on the brakes. Wisely braking earlier there. Having another look down the inside, Kokonen not going to be enjoying that. He goes defensive, trying to block Kyle. Kyle having a look on the left-hand side there. Moves right again, but he's on the wrong line here. Doing a bit of paint swapping through there. Looks like Kokonen was a bit slow. Kokonen backs off. And Kyle Brennan takes a knap as well. Whoa. Kyle Brennan really putting the pedal to the metal out here today. He's in 16th now, and right next to Peterson in the Nissan GTR. Has he taken it? I'm not sure if he has. Can't see that GTR anyway. Looks like he has got the pass done. He's into 14th, and up to looking like he's gonna tap off as well. Yes, he lets Kyle Brennan by. Too much pressure by Kyle Brennan on Abt, and he moves over and lets Kyle take the position. Riva not going to give up that easily. He's right next to Kyle Brennan. The Porsche seeming to be really, really well suited for this race. And he gets him. There's one Honda NSX down and another to go. He's on the back of Dresner. Dresner powering out of the corner. But the Porsche in the slipstream looks to be gaining. Dresner switches left, trying to break that slipstream, but Kyle is already too close. Starts making up the ground. Safe braking distance by Kyle. Right under the wing. Right under the wing of the Honda NSX. Dresner feeling the pressure by the looks of it. Kyle trying to keep the car wide. Wants to brake early and get the undercut on Dresner, but he runs a little bit wide. On the second turn, comes in. Dresner looks like he tried to shut the door there, got that right. Kyle Brennan on the outside, nowhere else for him to go, but Dresner fighting tooth and nail to keep that position of number 11, but unfortunately Kyle obviously on the wrong racing line. They have to brake harder for that inside turn. He's now on the outside. Will he get the run here? Looks like he does. Yes, he does. He's taken position 11. Now he's chasing Fraga, the Brazilian in the Audi. A bit of contact. He's bumped that Audi. Fraga getting the best out of that exchange because he gets a little bit of a boost up the hill. Kyle looks like he is still pretty close or in that slipstream. He is catching up to that Audi up to the 100-meter mark and on the brakes. He's gone on the outside. He's got Fraga. He's taking the Brazilian and now he's shooting down the inside trying to get Lecture in the Lexus, and it looks like he's got it done. Yes, he has. He's through and chasing the McLaren F1 down the straight. McLaren slipstreaming on the Nissan GTR. He looks like he's going to get past there. Kyle on the brakes, but a little bit of contact, pushing Sevilla, telling him, listen, you've got to either get out the way or put the pedal down. Sevilla not going to be enjoying that. Kyle right on the apex, trying for the inside here. The McLaren very, very quick. Kyle on the brakes. Looks like he's got it done. I'm not sure if he has. It's a very tough one to see. The McLaren in front. Kyle Brennan boxed in, but he gets through. He doesn't get through. He got through in front of the McLaren, but he doesn't get through on the left-hand side of Major. Major holding him off. You can hear him tapping off on the accelerator. Major trying to block here. Trying to block that best line. Kyle gets through. They come together. I don't know whose fault that was. Doesn't seem like either driver got a penalty, but Kyle Brennan gets the better of the exchange. He kind of glances off that Nissan GTR, and Major just lucky he didn't get pushed off onto the grass there. Excuse me. Kyle Brennan braking really late there, just before the 50-meter mark. Hard on that apex. Through on the other. And he's in 7th position. I can't believe it. Halfway through the race, Kyle Brennan in 7th position. There's the Audi miles down the track. We'll switch now to the trackside cams, so we can keep an eye on how Kyle Brennan is doing with relation to the cars in front and behind. But so far, a very, very impressive drive from Kyle Brennan in the Cayman GT4. I'm very, very surprised that this car is keeping up, even with the intermediate level drivers of the GR2s. Those cars are immensely powerful and quick. Looking at the Porsche's tyre wear now, that is looking pretty close to finished on that right hand side, both the front and rear on the right hand side seeming to be getting a lot more wear than the left, and that's going to mean he's going to need to come in very, very soon for a pit stop. He's on the softs right now, but race rules set by the team is that he has to run as far as he can run with the softs, and whichever runs out first, either fuel or tires, when he comes into the pits he has to switch onto the hards. So I don't know if that is a very wise idea, to Kyle Brennan opting to stay out with those right hand side tires looking like they do. He's going to do another lap, and the car is definitely looking a lot less settled than it was at the start of this race. You'll see as he comes into the turns he's slightly wider off the apex, and also it looks like he might be getting into some slides as well. Here he comes. Oh, you can see there, way off the apex of that turn. But Burnett now has moved into 5th position. Oh, he's dropped back to 6th again. He was battling it out with Ferrand in the GTR. The GTR obviously just got back out in front of the Audi. So Burnett obviously not wanting to be overtaken by the Porsche, which is two race levels below. So it is a point of pride for these guys. He's definitely pushing Ferrand in that GTR. He's going to want to take that place, get another car in between him and Kyle. But only a couple of turns left, and Kyle Brennan will be coming in for some fuel and to switch over onto the hards. Problem with those hards is they obviously don't have the road holding that the softs do, so you do have to brake a lot earlier, and especially when they are cold coming out of the pits. At least another lap down the road you're going to have problems with traction. But here comes the crew, everybody waiting, but this is very strange. Everybody's crews have come out now. Kyle Brennan, the first one coming in. Everybody else seeming to think that is a good idea now. So Kyle Brennan is setting the pit stops for all the other teams he's racing against. So it looks like everybody else is going to be coming in on the next lap. Kyle getting the jump on them, but obviously he's on the hards now. This means that he's obviously got an open track ahead of him, lots of room, and this could make or break his race. He's going to need to get as much attack done and as many clean laps as possible while he's not having to fight through traffic, because this is where he's going to make up ground. The problem is he might not be able to make up as much as he needs because of those cold, hard tires that are on now. So we're definitely going to start seeing people coming in. There we go, there's the first of them. Pisano is in. He's the driver in position number 2 on the grid, or on the wrap. The person who is in position 3, Larson, has also come in now. The rest of the field now are just turning onto that long straight which comes past the pits. So we'll see on that mini map on the top there how many of them start coming in. There are a bunch of them. Looks like a bunch of them coming off. Kyle Brennan trying to make up ground here. He's coming around onto the final straight, and I don't know if he's going to be able to leapfrog anybody. Let's see how we go. So one guy in the pits at the moment that he's going to overtake. There we go. He's got Fraga, the Brazilian. Oh, going a bit wide there onto that turn. Obviously the tyres not as sticky as what they should be, with them still being new. but he gets out in front of the McLaren. So Kyle Brennan into 18th. I don't know how many people pitted. We know for sure that Sevilla and Fraga did. And Kyle Brennan takes those 2 places, leapfrogging the 2 drivers. Workman has put in the quickest lap of the race at a 1 minute 36.524. That's a cracker of a lap. And our race leader Reynolds has come in. He's on the mediums. Only 2% of his fuel left in that tank, so oh, excuse me. And there comes Ferret, there comes, oh, Kyle Brennan off the track. Really got the car all sideways there as he hit the rumble strips, got on the power and spun the car out head on into the wall, and he's got a penalty. My word. So now we're back in the chase cam. While he's trying to, and oh, the tyres giving him an issue, bit of a tank slap happening there. Kyle Brennan on the power, too hard, too fast, and the cold and dirty hard tyres spinning up. And that leaves Sevilla to speed away. There are a couple more people in the pits now, so Kyle will leapfrog a few more drivers here. Where is he right now? 15th. Into 16th, into 13th, 12th. So here he comes down the straight. My word, this has been one interesting race for Kyle Brennan. He seems to be settling down with these tyres now. They seem to be holding the road a bit better after getting all that dirt off of them. Plus they should be warm now too. Definitely making ground up easily on Sevilla in the McLaren F1. Tapping off to make sure he doesn't hit that car. He's got the outside line here. He's got him. Sevilla drops to 10th. And here we go again. Kyle Brennan in 9th, chasing Burnett in the Audi. I don't know how far that Audi is ahead, but Kyle Brennan also has a penalty of 0.892 to get rid of. That he'll shave off through the course of the race. TK coming in for tyres. Matsuo coming in for tyres and fuel, both of them for fuel. 1% fuel for Matsuo, 2% fuel for TK. My word. Those two almost ran out of fuel. Here we go. Burnett quite far ahead now. We can't even see him. We see him just turning the corner way up ahead there, so we'll switch over onto the track cams again and watch Kyle Brennan try to reel him in. Still 0.7 of a second. That'll be whittled away as we go through sections of the track where Kyle Brennan is not the quickest. Basically what happens is you have to be off the gas on the fast sections of the track, and the car needs to be slowing down for that to be whittled away, so that will absolutely affect where he's going to finish up this race. But he seems to be on a charge right now, but that hard hit on the barriers definitely would have shaken him, would have rattled his fillings loose in his teeth. But here he comes. You can see the Audi way ahead there, just exiting the shot as the camera changes. Here he comes up the start-finish stretch. 190, 200, 210. That car is quick. Where is he in the standings? Well, that McLaren is way back in the distance. Oh, it looks like he took that quite wide. He definitely did. But he didn't go off the track, didn't get a track limit penalty, so obviously off the racing line but not off the track, which is quite good. Gearing down. Carl Brennan in 7th. He's on the same road as the Audi. Well, as he's entering, the Audi's exiting the straight. And he seems to make up a lot of ground in the twisty bits of the track, with this car being just so agile. Oh, a little bit of a kick out there by the back end. Oh, and again, Carl being a little bit too liberal with the gas pedal. Car definitely not short of power, and with it being so light, it's very, very good through the turns. Oh, got it sideways again. And all of these little mistakes are just whittling away his chances at getting past Burnett and maybe even contending for a podium finish in the top 3, but I don't know if that is going to be possible. He has had a couple of rough moments in this race. The car definitely looking way better than it did before the tyre change. Even though he does have the hards on, he's still braking at very, very good braking points. Maybe taking that one a little too wide, but he's made up a lot of ground. We can see the other cars now in the screenshot, or in the shot, as Carl Brennan enters the straight. And there goes the Audi. Here comes the Porsche. There they are. 6th, 5th and 4th. And here comes Carl Brennan. Coming up to the hairpin now. He really gets that line nice and tight now. He's making ground up. There's no doubt about it. He's making ground up on that Audi. That is going to be extremely encouraging for Carl Brennan. Up the hill, onto the final lap. It's lap 14. Carl Brennan in 7th, chasing Burnett in the Audi. He's overcooked that. He's gone too far in. Gets it rectified. Onto the gas. And he looks like he's gaining on Burnett. If he can get that slipstream, he might be able to get past and take 6th from the Audi. Oh, he's missed his brake point. You can see from a mile off he was late there. And that's just opened the door, let Burnett back through. He had it for a fraction of a second. If he had been a bit more patient, he could have held off there and taken the Audi and possibly even Ferrand in front of him through the twisty section here where the Cayman is strongest. But unfortunately getting too greedy, getting too excited about getting the place, and that's where the errors come in. Keeping a calm head is definitely something you need to do in these kind of situations, because your mind can run away with you. And oh, he's going for the outside. He gets into the back of Burnett, trying the outside again. Oh, Burnett bumps him. Burnett bumps him onto the rumble strips. That may have cost Carl Brennan this race for 6th place. He He's not going to give up though. He's in the slipstream. He's still chasing that Audi. Burnett trying to get back in front of Ferrand, but here comes Kyle Brennan. He's going to try to take 6th from the Audi, and oh, by half a car length, he just can't get it done. Definitely making up ground on that Audi, but unfortunately, that tiny little bump that he got at the beginning of that start-finish straight, pushing him out onto those rumble strips, that is what crippled him. But well done to Kyle Brennan, racing the Group 4 with the Group 2s and coming in 7th. What a race. Well done. So there's the final result. Reynolds in the CLK comes first. Pisano in the RS5 Turbo, 2.3 seconds behind him. Larson in third, also in the RS5 Turbo. Workman in the NSX GT500 comes in 4th. Ferrand in the GTR 500 comes 5th. Burnett in the RS5 Turbo. Audi comes in 6th, and Kyle Brennan in the Cayman GT4 Clubsport coming in 7th position. And of course we have to mention Sevilla in the only McLaren F1 GTR in the race, who comes in position number 8. Great race there. I think Kyle is definitely getting quicker. So that's it for this video, guys. So until we meet again, drive safely, take care, we'll see you on the track.